Captain's log, stardate 6948.1. We have been aboard the Sigma Draconis space station for 2 hours. Several of the station's systems remain damaged or inoperable. Mr. Scott discovered why the station went undetected until recently. It has an advanced cloaking device which is severely damaged, possibly by a rare antilepton particle cascade which passed through the system a week ago. The research team continues to study the contents of the library. They've discovered that all the security safeties are offline, allowing all of the data to be readily accessed. Perhaps the safeties were wiped out by the particle storm as well. Report, Spock.
Sir, we've identified a translation matrix that will allow us to read the library banks in Federation standard. We've begun to catalog the library table of contents to allow us to choose which areas to access first.
Good. Carry on.
Captain, I've got the life support working. The system had only been reset, not damaged. It's set for Morg standards, which is as we expected.
Good work, Scotty. McCoy, check the atmosphere.
Air's fine, Jim. All within human and Vulcan normal range.
Deactivate life support belts. Good work. Scotty, see the station's other systems.
Jim, you have to see this.
What is it, Bones?
Cures. Cures for everything. Surgical techniques. Complete tissue regeneration. In situ genetic resequencing. Virus programming. Induced biological renewal. It's amazing.
It is a vast storehouse, Captain, of technology centuries, if not millennia, beyond our own.
Kirk here.
Captain, the interference caused by the space station's damaged systems is increasing. The Enterprise's engines and power systems are degrading at a faster rate.
Understood. Stand by, Mr. Sulu. Kirk out.
I'll see to it. Scott engineering.
Engineering, Gabler.
Gavler, check the G2 board and the Y3 and FT circuits.
G2 shows all but life support in 120 range. Y3 and FT below 5%.
Do the K2 or K9 radiation indicators show any sign of negative gradient?
No, sir. Both are flat.
I was afraid of that. Stabilize the power as best you can, Gabler. Scott out. Captain, it's this station. Our increased use of its systems is causing the power plant to give off more radiation. It's playing havoc with the Enterprise's systems, even at this increased range.
Recommendations?
I'm beaming back to try to stabilize the engines. I'll report in as soon as I learn anything.
Very well. Proceed, Mr. Scott. Mr. Spock, continue your team's cataloging of the table of contents. We need to know the extent of what we're dealing with. I have a feeling we'll end up with some tough questions.
If this doesn't do it, we've got a devil of a problem. Alright, boys. Reset your articulation arrays. On my mark. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, mark.
All the arrays in place, Chief.
Oh, that does it. Scott the Captain.
Kirk here. Go ahead, Mr. Scott.
It's bad news, sir. Enterprise's warp engines. They've been severely destabilized. That station's radiation was just too much for them.
Capabilities.
Warp drive is out. We can manage no better than 0.8 C.
Estimated time to repair.
We cannot do it where we are. We'll have to move away first.
How far?
At least 3 AUs. Then it'll be a minimum of 5 days.
Understood. Scotty, Is there further risk to the ship's systems by staying in orbit of the station?
No, sir. The damage has been done. The other Enterprise systems don't seem to be susceptible to the radiation.
Very well. We need you back over here, Mr. Scott. Kirk out. Bad news, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Spock, looks like the Enterprise's warp drive is out. For a few days at least.
Then we have a problem, Captain. We have translated some of the non-medical sections of the library. There are references to metaphasic shielding, slipstream drive, trajector propulsion, the towing of black holes, intergalactic catapults, stable wormhole creation, transwarp drive, planetary cloaking fields, revival of dead stars, positronic androids, zero-point energy, dark matter propulsion. And it's all here for anybody to take it.
Incredible. It could take lifetimes to study all the knowledge here.
What a boon to the civilizations of the galaxy! All of the things that the Federation could do!
Captain, there's also weapons technology with frightening destructive power. Even the non-military technology could be used to make a civilization unstoppable.
I've seen death and destruction on Earth like no one alive. But the destructive power described here, it could be galaxy-shattering. Trillions of lives. You can't be saying you're excited by how this scientific find could be used by the Federation against its enemies.
Just the reverse, Mr. Flint.
What Mr. Spock means is that the library's contents are too powerful, even for the Federation or Starfleet. But especially too dangerous, should it fall into the hands of the Klingons, Romulans, Kzinti, Orions, or even the Andorians or Tellarites.
We'll just have to safeguard the knowledge, that's all.
If only it was that simple, Lieutenant. The sheer power inherent in almost all of these new technologies, and the vast amount of it, would make the library, or any race possessing the knowledge, the target of every sapient species in the galaxy.
The problem now becomes, how do we protect it without warp drive? We can't hide it since all efforts to restore the cloak have failed.
My God. The station's information's a ticking time bomb.
Emotionally stated, Doctor, but essentially correct. This library represents a means to obtain absolute power in this galaxy.
Yes, and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
I wonder who first said that.
I did.
Ship's log, stardate 6948.5. Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu reporting. The boarding party has now been aboard the station for just over 5 hours. Chief Engineer Scott has returned to the station and reports that he has repaired the reactor. The Enterprise is still limited to sublight speeds. Per Captain's orders, we have determined that the nearest Federation starship that can come tow the station from the area is the U.S.S. Hood, which at best speed is 16 hours away. We are maintaining synchronous orbit of the planet, awaiting further orders. Report.
All range sensors show 2 ships entering the sector.
Sensors to maximum. Get me some details.
Kirk here.
Captain, extreme long-range sensors show 2 contacts. Energy signature suggests Klingon origin. Arrival time indeterminate. No further details at present.
Very well. Kirk out.
They must also have heard of the sudden appearance of a space station and come to investigate. When they get here, they will find...
They'll find a treasure trove of technology so advanced that no power in the galaxy can stand against them.